Okay, in this video, we are going to be introduced to our next unit, which is going to cover a good bit of this semester. And that is the wonderful world of polynomials. Why do I have exclamation points after the word polynomials? Because they're fun, they're exciting, they're different. So let's get right to it. First, let's talk about what the word itself means. Polynomial is just a fancy word that comes from the Greek language. Poly is a Greek prefix that means many. And the root nomials simply means terms. So polynomials are mathematical structures that can have many terms. So in order to start talking about them, let's remind ourselves of some of our vocabulary that we need to know to talk about polynomials. First of all, let's remember that a number that is all by itself, a term that is made up of a number, is called a constant. And oh, by the way, let's also remind ourselves that this is a term. This is another term, okay? So a term that is just a number is called a constant. A letter that stands in for a quantity that varies is called a variable. A number that is part of a term with a variable in it has a special name also. It is a coefficient. And last but not least, something we've been learning about for the past several days, the little number written up to the upper right-hand corner of a number or a variable, usually a variable, is called an exponent or power. Okay, exponent or power. So, some polynomials are classified by the number of terms they have. They only give special names to the first three. The first one is called a monomial. Mono means one. It only has one term. Then we have the polynomials that you have been working with already. A binomial. Bi means two. And then we have a trinomial, which has three terms. After that, they just call them polynomials. Get rid of that. I invite you at any time to stop this video and take notes. You should take notes on this. And you could also do a screenshot. That works too. So there's more than one way to classify polynomials. You can classify them by the number of terms they have, and you can also classify them by degree. And degree is the number of the highest power term. So let's take a deeper dive into what that looks like. Okay? So if you have the degree of this term is 1, so it is called a linear or first degree. Okay? You can also have degree 2, which we're about ready to learn about. That is a second degree, also known as a quadratic. Third degree polynomials, and you can see by how I'm writing this is that yes, you can have higher degree polynomials with more terms, or you could have a single monomial that's a higher degree. So it doesn't matter how many terms, it's the power. So a third degree polynomial has a name. It is called a cubic. And they also give special names to the next two degrees. A fourth degree polynomial is called a quartic, or fourth degree, and a fifth degree polynomial also has a funny name, quintic. You don't have to memorize these. I'm just telling you so that you can get used to the term. Okay? After this, they just go by what the number is. 6th, 7th, 8th, and so on. So before we end this video, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret, because I think you can handle the knowledge. Okay? Sometimes, not in Algebra 1, but in higher level math classes, you will also see, this is in the context of determining the degree of a polynomial. Sometimes you have more than one variable in a polynomial. In that case, you add the powers up to determine the degree. So what do I mean by that? I mean that whereas this, x to the fifth, is a fifth degree polynomial, if I had x to the fifth, y to the fourth, that's a ninth degree polynomial. Of course, I'm not going to mix them up and think I can add them together. I'm just saying that this is only in terms of the degree. And I can see right now that you're probably saying, Mrs. Heinzman, what in the world are you talking about? But I'm just telling you that you're going to get into a little something called binomial expansion when you get to Algebra 2. And when you see this, you are going to be ahead of the game, because you're already going to have some understanding of how degrees of polynomials work. So thank you guys for listening, and let's get ready to work with some polynomials. See you in the next video.